Seneca once thoroughly explained to us how to experience every moment of life without any worries. This idea is not just about finding happiness in the present, but also about using this moment as a tool to cultivate inner strength. We are the first to present these Stoic strategies to you, valuable tactics that enhance our behavior, shape our character, and guide us toward the respect we seek from others. With this in mind, based on Stoic wisdom, we will thoroughly present the 7 psychological strategies that serve as the key to a life filled with respect and virtue. Strategy number 1. Commanding your perspective. The ancient Stoics understood that the essence of life is not shaped by the events that happen to us, but by how we perceive and respond to them. This is not about masking life's difficulties with false optimism. Rather, it is about recognizing that every experience is like an unpolished stone. We can either see it as an ordinary rock or as raw material that has the potential to become a valuable diamond. Imagine you are giving an important presentation at work. You have meticulously prepared, rehearsed your speech, and paid attention to every detail. However, when the moment arrives, a technical malfunction occurs, your slides won't advance, videos refuse to play, and you find yourself standing before your colleagues and superiors, all eyes on you with anticipation. In this critical moment, your perspective becomes your most powerful tool. Do you see this as a disaster, an embarrassment that will ruin your career? Or do you view it as an opportunity to demonstrate your ability to remain composed under pressure, adapt, and communicate effectively? By making the right choice, you take a deep breath and perhaps even make a lighthearted remark about the unpredictability of technology, drawing a few chuckles from the audience. Then, you proceed with your presentation without the slides, engaging with your listeners in a more direct and personal manner. You are not ignoring the mishap. You are rising above it. Afterward, people won't remember the technical failure. They will remember how you handled the situation with confidence and grace. They will respect you not for delivering a flawless presentation, but for managing imperfections with poise and resilience. This is the essence of mastering perception and putting it into practice, the ability to turn obstacles into opportunities. It does not mean ignoring negative circumstances, but rather leveraging them as tools for personal growth. By applying this mindset in different areas of life, you won't be recognized as someone who never faces challenges, but rather as someone who remains steadfast in the midst of them. This quiet self-assurance, this mastery of perception, naturally earns you respect. When you embrace this principle, you become a pillar of resilience, admired not for a life free of difficulties, but for the determination and ingenuity with which you navigate them. This is the power of perception, a Stoic tool as vital today as it was in the marble halls of ancient Greece. Strategy number 2. Harnessing power through decisions. When viewed through the lens of Stoic philosophy, we encounter a crucial intersection between control and choice. The renowned Stoic teacher Epictetus once said, "We cannot determine our external circumstances, but we always have the power to choose how we respond to them." These words convey that embracing control and choice means acknowledging that while the world moves according to its own rhythm, our reactions remain entirely within our will. Let's illustrate this with a scenario that many of us may face. Imagine receiving unexpected feedback from your manager, criticism, but not in a positive form. This moment becomes a test of your resilience. You cannot change or undo the feedback, but within you lies an incredible power, the ability to choose your response. The instinctive reaction may be defensiveness, frustration, or discouragement. However, Stoicism encourages us to act differently. Instead, you pause and truly listen. You receive each word not as a condemnation of failure, but as a stepping stone for growth. You seek clarification, strive to understand, and then make a conscious decision. To use this feedback as raw material to shape yourself into a stronger and more capable professional. Those around you notice this. You are no longer just an employee. You become the embodiment of composure and initiative. People respect you not because of a flawless career, but because you rise above setbacks and transform them into sources of strength. When applied on a broader scale, this mindset becomes transformative. Imagine being stuck in traffic and running late. You cannot control the red lights or the speed of the cars ahead. However, your emotional response is entirely within your power. Instead of frustration, you make a choice. You listen to a podcast, play an audiobook, or mentally plan your day. As a result, you arrive not overwhelmed by stress, but enriched and mentally prepared. This is the power of choice. It is in these quiet, yet intentional decisions, small choices made without fanfare or applause, that true respect is cultivated. These very skills, the mastery of what is within our control and the calm acceptance of what is not, are what earn people's deep admiration for you. So, when faced with life's inevitable challenges, remember the wisdom of Epictetus. Never forget that control and choice are your natural Stoic strengths, the steady forces that allow you to withstand any storm. By adopting this Stoic mindset, you naturally earn the respect of those who observe you. Strategy number 3, honesty in action. Integrity and action are the essence of Stoicism, giving life to the core principle of the philosophy, that virtue alone suffices for happiness. This Stoic virtue is such a powerful and living force that it shapes every aspect of a Stoic's life. Whether in mundane decisions or extraordinary choices, integrity and action emerge as the embodiment of a life lived with wisdom and virtue. Do not merely explain your philosophy, live it. Epictetus taught, a directive that calls for the manifestation of one's values not just in thought, but in every action and reaction. In the complexities of daily interactions, integrity and action show themselves in countless ways. In the business world, this may be seen in the refusal to engage in idle office gossip or manipulative politics. It can also appear in the employee who, when faced with a conflict of interest, discloses it, despite the potential personal loss. It is the manager who gives credit where it is due, even when they could easily accept praise for the work of their subordinates. Marcus Aurelius notes in his Meditations that a person's true worth is found not in external things but in their actions. Living with integrity means making decisions aligned with virtue, even when those decisions bring discomfort, isolation, or criticism. Stoics understand that integrity often demands sacrifice, and they are willing to bear that burden not for external rewards, but because they prioritize their self-respect above all else. Integrity in action is about resilience in the face of adversity. It means maintaining a moral stance, even when the world seems to conspire against it. In times when dishonesty flourishes and shortcuts lead to success, the Stoic remains steadfast. As Seneca wrote, a person's worth is measured by the worth of what they value and what is the reward for unwavering commitment to integrity. It is respect, the kind that is earned, not demanded, felt, not feigned. This respect is a reflection of a person's unshakable and unquestionable character. Integrity is both the path and the goal. Therefore, integrity in action is not just a Stoic principle to be discussed. It is a way of life to be lived. It transcends the pages of ancient texts and becomes the script by which a Stoic structures their life. Ultimately, it is the highest form of respect one can achieve. Strategy number 4. Nurturing understanding and compassion. Empathy, the ability to understand and share the feelings of others, may not immediately appear as a Stoic virtue, but the Stoics deeply understood its importance in connecting with the human community and practicing the virtue of justice. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius stated, "Kindness is mankind's greatest delight," emphasizing that empathy is not just a passive emotion, but an active engagement in the well-being of others. In Stoicism, empathy means recognizing that all humans are fallible, prone to errors and struggles, yet still deserving of understanding and compassion. It is seen in showing patience to a new colleague who is struggling to learn the ropes or offering understanding to a friend overwhelmed by grief. Consider a leader who takes the time to understand the unique challenges faced by each team member. This leader does not merely manage but leads with empathy, understanding that each person's experience contributes to the collective dynamic. Through empathy, this leader aligns the strengths of team members, addresses their challenges, and guides the team toward a clear goal with a compassionate hand on the helm. Empathy also calls for a deeper engagement with the community. Think of an entrepreneur who designs solutions not just for profit, but to meet societal needs, understanding that their true value lies in the benefits they bring to others. Similarly, one can envision a citizen who listens with an open mind to the viewpoints of others, recognizing that beneath differing opinions and beliefs lie common fears and hopes. Stoicism teaches that empathy must be guided by wisdom. It's not about taking on others' emotional burdens, but offering the right measure of support and understanding to foster growth and resilience. As Seneca said, "Wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness." This reminds us that empathy is always with us, a resource available in every interaction. By practicing empathy, Stoics forge deeper connections and contribute to a society built on mutual respect and understanding. Cultivating empathy means recognizing the reflections of ourselves in others and acting on this recognition with kindness and justice. Through empathy, we not only elevate others but also elevate ourselves, aligning our actions with the Stoic ideal that the well-being of the individual and the welfare of the community are deeply interconnected. Strategy number 5. The beauty of minimalism. The elegance of simplicity, one of the core principles of Stoicism, emphasizes living a life free from unnecessary excess and resisting the pull of distractions. True wealth is not found in owning great possessions but in having few desires. Epictetus's advice is not a mandate for austerity, but an invitation to discover richness in simplicity and fulfillment in the essentials of life. Embracing simplicity means rejecting the clutter that often fills both our physical spaces and mental landscapes. It involves valuing quality over quantity, seeking experiences that enrich the soul rather than accumulating things to fill our homes. Imagine applying this principle to daily life. It could mean decluttering your workspace to foster focus. In personal finance, it may manifest as a budget that prioritizes experiences and well-being over material accumulation. In relationships, the elegance of simplicity encourages investing in deeper connections with fewer people, rather than spreading oneself thin across many surface-level engagements. Stoics find beauty in simplicity, not only in their surroundings but also in their actions and thoughts. It is a conscious decision to simplify life's complexities, cut through the noise, and focus on what truly matters. Marcus Aurelius once reflected, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." This insight calls for an internal simplification, the purification of desires, and the grounding of contentment in self-sufficiency and reason. In Stoicism, simplicity also serves as a tool for resilience in the face of life's inevitable upheavals. A person who has cultivated a simple, straightforward, and unpretentious life is better positioned to adapt. They carry their tranquility within, unaffected by external shifts, because their happiness is not tied to the fleeting and external, but to the stable and internal. To live simply is to remove the non-essential, allowing the essential to speak. It is about practicing restraint in a world of excess and finding peace in an age of distraction. The elegance of simplicity is the art of stripping down to the core of what brings joy, clarity, and purpose. It is the Stoic realization that in the tapestry of life, the most impactful threads are often those woven with the simplest patterns. In conclusion, the elegance of simplicity is more than just an aesthetic choice. It is a profound philosophical commitment that offers freedom, clarity, and a return to the fundamentals of human flourishing. By embracing simplicity, we not only streamline our external lives, but also align our inner worlds with Stoic wisdom, where the greatest treasures are found within the depths of a contented heart. Strategy number 6. Finding peace in surrender. The serenity of acceptance is a Stoic shield against the uncontrollable elements of life. It is the acknowledgement of our limited ability to change external circumstances, while simultaneously recognizing our absolute power to accept them. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Accept the things to which fate binds you," highlighting that peace comes not from control, but from relinquishing control where it cannot be exercised. This acceptance is far from resignation. It is an active and empowered response to the challenges that fate presents. When a storm occurs, the Stoic does not lament the rain, but instead reflects on the futility of such lamentations. They understand that the storm, like all external events, is indifferent to our desires and discomforts. Serenity is found not by changing the storm's nature, but by protecting the inner self from its fury. In real-world situations, this calm acceptance is reflected in the demeanor of a doctor who, after doing all they can for a patient, must wait for the outcome. It is the composed acceptance of an athlete who, after a defeat, recognizes that some factors, such as weather or the opponent's unexpected performance, were beyond their control. These individuals display a mastery of acceptance that does not diminish their efforts, but rather reinforces their tranquility. They show us that while striving for excellence is within our control, the outcome is often not. He who is brave is free, Seneca tells us. The brave individual, in the Stoic sense, is one who accepts the bounds of fate, freeing themselves from the anguish of resisting the unchangeable. Acceptance also cultivates resilience. It is the strength to face loss, to endure pain, and to confront adversity, not with bitter resignation, but with the understanding that these experiences are part of the human condition. Stoics use acceptance as a tool to maintain internal harmony. They find serenity not in ideal circumstances, but in their response to the actual circumstances they face. The serenity of acceptance is therefore a reflection of wisdom and strength. It does not mean one does not strive to improve their situation, but rather acknowledges that not everything is within their power to change. While we may not be able to command the winds of fate, we can adjust our sails. It is about seeing the world with clarity, free from the distortions of frustration and disappointment. By cultivating the serenity of acceptance, we anchor ourselves in the present, undisturbed by the ripples of the uncontrollable, and master the only domain we can fully command, our inner selves. Strategy number 7, a life of moral excellence. Living a virtuous life is the cornerstone of Stoic philosophy, the pinnacle of its teachings, and the guiding force around which the Stoic way of life revolves. For the Stoics, virtue is a practical guide to living well. It embodies the 4 cardinal virtues: wisdom, courage, justice, and self-discipline. Seneca put it best: virtue is nothing other than right reason. To live virtuously is to navigate life's complexities with a moral compass that always points toward what is right. It means making decisions not based on convenience or fleeting pleasures, but on what is truly just and ethical. Wisdom teaches us to choose justice over ease. Courage empowers us to walk that path despite our fears, and self-discipline enables us to act with balance and restraint. The virtuous life is reflected in our daily choices. It is seen in the honesty of a business person who conducts their affairs transparently, in the courage of someone who exposes wrongdoing, and in the justice of a leader who defends the marginalized. It is also evident in those who master their desires, understanding that self-restraint is the foundation of true freedom. Stoic philosophy teaches us that living virtuously is not just about outward behavior, but also an inner journey. Marcus Aurelius once said, "To live happily is an inner power of the soul." This highlights how virtue is deeply connected to inner peace and fulfillment. A virtuous life requires us to make choices aligned with our values, regardless of external rewards or recognition. Living virtuously also involves understanding our connection to others and the world. From a Stoic perspective, justice extends beyond personal relationships to a broader commitment to the common good. It is the recognition that our well-being is intertwined with the well-being of others. By striving for virtue, Stoics discover the true source of wealth. After all, what is more valuable than a life lived with integrity? What endures more than the respect earned through unwavering character? Virtue is its own reward, offering a deeper sense of fulfillment than fleeting pleasures ever could. Ultimately, living virtuously is a conscious choice to align every thought, word, and action with the highest moral principles. It is a continuous and purposeful effort that lifts us above momentary impulses and inspires us to act in accordance with the noblest aspects of our character. On this path, we gain not only the respect of others, but also a profound self-respect that no external hardship can shake. As we remain committed to this way of life, we become symbols of stability and integrity in an ever-changing world, leaving behind a legacy that even time itself will honor. As we now approach the conclusion of our exploration of the profound psychological strategies rooted in Stoicism, I invite you to pause for a moment and reflect. These are not merely concepts to understand, but principles to be applied in our lives. Which of these strategies could serve as a turning point in your life? How might adopting a Stoic mindset help you cultivate deeper self-respect and earn the esteem of others? Try to integrate these ancient teachings into the complexities of your daily life. Observe where they naturally fit and where you might need to adjust your perspective to navigate the vast and unpredictable currents of life more effectively. Feel free to share your thoughts, intentions, or moments of Stoic insight in the comments. Your journey is unique, and your story could inspire or offer a fresh perspective to others. Reflect on what you have learned and consider how you can apply these principles to your path forward. Until we meet again, may the wisdom of Stoicism guide you toward a life of virtue and dignity.